Hey guys, it's Cole from A+ Power Sports. Today we're going to talk about your carbides on your snowmobile. So all snowmobiles have some sort of carbide, and we'll go over the different features of them and the different parts of your carbide. So this is a stock carbide that comes right from the factory from Polaris. This is only about a 3-inch carbide. Some will come with a 4-inch, but it's not super long. So when you're looking at your carbide, you have your studs on your top that mount it. You have your wear rod, which is actually what just holds the carbide to it. Your carbide is this little part right here. Now it's pretty small actually, sometimes they're longer, but it's a small piece, an extremely strong compound here, which this allows you to cut through the ice, and you might even see it inside your trailer starting to cut through your wooden floors. Now your carbides will wear down over time. There's just a lot of friction on them and a lot of stress, but you need this carbide to be sharp and to be there in order for your snowmobile to turn and handle correctly. Now your wear rod, it's always going to be there hopefully, but this is just meant to hold the carbide on. So just because you have the wear rod there does not mean your snowmobile is good or safe to use for the winter. Make sure your carbide is always safe. So this is your just basic single carbide or runner. It does its job fantastic. We'll talk about a couple different ones here. So from there, a lot of guys will move from a single runner up to a dually. Now, we call it a dually because there are 2 carbides here. Still the same mounting holes and everything, but you now have 2 carbides on one ski. Now this gives you a lot of great benefits. Some of the ones that I think are, it gets rid of the darting and diving. With a single runner, it's easily can fall into the other snowmobile in front of you tracks, causing your snowmobile to dart and dive around the trail. When you throw a set of dualies on it, it really is difficult for your snowmobile to get caught in a person's track. Your snowmobile will ride straight, very smooth. The only downside I see to a dually is it's a little bit harder to turn. You have a lot more carbide on the ground that you're fighting with to get you around that corner. So if we're not going to go with a dually, I'm always going to upgrade to people to at least a 6-inch carbide. The factory ones at 3 or 4 inches, they do it, but they just they wear out a little bit faster and it's not going to turn as nice. So when we go to a 6-inch carbide like this is a Polaris one. This is made by Woody's. You can see your carbide is a lot longer. So the full 6 inches, it does a great job of keeping the snowmobile handling great. So after a 6-inch, I personally like my 8-inch carbides. So the reason for that, they last a little bit longer. You have more surface area on the ground. So you'll get a little bit more life out of an 8-inch carbide. The only downside to it, similar to like a dually, is it's a little bit harder to steer. Not terrible though. From there, we now carry a brand at A+ called Snow Studs. Now, this is a really cool company. They're a smaller company, but they do a great job and they put a lot of time and effort into all their products they sell. So of course they sell studs as well, but we're just talking about the carbides here. So I've actually had an 8-inch set for the past 2 years now on my snowmobile. And in the past 2 years, I did about 1,500 miles on these carbides. I was extremely impressed with how well they held up. I've yet to have a carbide that can go that long and hold this sharp of an edge for 1,500 miles. I honestly could run this for another couple seasons, I think, as long as I stay off the roads as much as possible. But they do a nice job with a little bit thicker stud, just doesn't allow it to wiggle and move around inside of the ski. The carbide that they use obviously is extremely strong. You have carbide up on the front here too, so when your ski is tracking down the trail and you're hitting rocks and things like that, this carbide that they actually infuse into the wear rod allows it to break away and move away from the rocks and not let it chip and hurt the actual carbide that's doing the steering action. So I've been really impressed with Snow Studs. No matter what though, always keep up with good carbides on your sled. If you notice it not handling correctly or it handles weird, check your carbides. That's a first easy thing to look at, and it's a really easy fix to replace. All right, give this video a like and subscribe to see all my latest weekly videos. Check out my current inventory at aplusride.com. If you have any questions, call me, email me, or leave me a comment in the section below, and we'll get back to you. Thanks for watching.